Howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today, welcome back to my channel. I just think that's kind of funny. Like I don't actually talk like that, but I can if I want to. But anyway, welcome back, and today we're going to be doing a very exciting intro, which is my 2023 Years of Usage project pan. This is going to be my third year doing this project. It's a project that I created myself. And everyone and anyone is welcome to join, obviously. And just like tag me so that I can see your updates and whatever. I actually have a few people joining me, maybe more like, probably like 5 people joining me. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy like seeing everyone's updates and encouraging them as well. But anyway, the goal of this project it's called Years of Usage, and it's because the goal is to either hit to either use the shade the number of years it is, so like it's 2023 now, so to use the shade 23 times, that would be considered a goal met, or to hit pan, whichever comes first, that would be considered a goal met. So I'm really excited, and this year I'm having a new approach to it. I've gained some more palettes in the last year, and also I've just decided that I want every single one of my palettes to at some point cycle through this project, because I want to know, like, if something goes bad or if I drop it, or you know, you never know, that I actually got really good use out of my palette, and make sure that I don't like feel bad, because like if I use each shade, you know, I started in 2021, so 21 to 23 times or more, like for the next years, I'll know that I got really good usage out of that. So, because like if I just have 5 shades in a palette and I hit goal on all of them, that means I used the palette at least 100 times minimum, which probably a lot more, but. And then also, if I hit goal on something, I just quit. I can still use the shade, I just quit tallying uses on it. But anyway, I'll just get on with it. But where I was going is, it's definitely not required to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just adding in, because I don't have that huge of a collection. Well, I do have a large collection, but by some standards, but I'd say like people have a lot more than I do. So you're welcome to just pick and choose what palettes you want. And I've even had people ask me if they can do it on like a face palette or like a single thing, and that's totally fine too. Like, it's not constrained to eyeshadow palettes. So anyway, let me get started. I'm just gonna go in order of like what's on my paper, but on Instagram I separated the updates into like large palettes and small palettes, so I kind of make note of that if I remember to as I go. So, just beginning, this is my Becca Ocean Jewels palette. I'll show it to you in case you're new here. This is what it looks like. It's really pretty. I sort of wanted to like roll it out last year because I was like not too far, but I just really focused in on my Panda palette last year. So, all of the red tallies are from years prior. I honestly don't know why I didn't just do all, even if it was like 2022 or 2021 in the like same blue, so that I could highlight in pink. But I guess I'm gonna highlight in like orange or green or something now if I do hit goal. But I guess it's kind of nice because I know like, oh, it's been, you know, whatever when I hit the goal. But yeah, you can tell, so you can see maybe a few blue uses, and that's because I used it after the new year, and I'm a little bit late uploading this. It's like mid-January when I'm filming this. But anyway, yeah, this palette is one of my smaller palettes, so it'll be in the smaller palette post on Instagram. And I'm really excited to use this one. I think I could roll it out pretty quickly if I really focused on it. Another one that's in my small palette update is going to be the Pat Sublime. This is what it looks like. My favorite shade is this green. It's beautiful. It's called Sinful. Anyway, so keep in mind I have to hit 23 uses on each shade. So like this one, I'm only 4 uses away illicit. I'm pretty sure I use it as like a liner. It's like a dark brown. So yeah, I'm pretty close on like a couple of these, but then, you know, far away on others. So that one's probably going to be in for a while. And this project is, at least at the beginning of the year, I'll say is kind of taking a back burner to my Pan That palette. I'm focusing on that because like last year I feel like I focused more on my years of usage, and I wasn't not able to finish my Pan That palette, and I really want to focus on my Pan That palette more this year. Next up is my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Sorry, I just got a text and it distracted me because I'm filming on my phone. But anyway, I really love this palette. It's beautiful, obviously. I've gotten a ton of uses out of it. All the ones that are circled, I've already hit goal in, either in last year's or in 2021. You can see I hit more in 2021 because I really went hard on this project in 2021. But yeah, I still have a lot more goals to hit. I would say I'm over halfway done though. So that's exciting. Yeah, I think it would be cool to be able to roll this palette out of the project this year, because it has been in since the beginning. But it is a large palette, so we'll see if that happens. Alright, next up is my BH Zodiac. Let me show you what it looks like. Oops. I've already hit a goal in 6 of the shades, so that's a 1/4 of the palette. Oh, and by the way, this highlighter is not included. Eventually, I'll probably use that as like a body glitter. But anyway, this is what it's looking like. I haven't used it all this year so far. So these are all from like years prior. But now, keep in mind, I have to hit 23 instead of 22 uses. I'm kind of close on some of them. Oh, actually, I guess Libra Matte, I only really need 1 more use and then I hit goal. So that's cool. Okay, my Take Me Back to Brazil is next. Sorry, I know this is kind of boring because like these were all in last year's, but at the end there'll be more that are like brand new to the thing because I'm adding in like pretty much all of my eyeshadows. So anyway, this is my BH Take Me Back to Brazil. It has a ton of shades. I'm not counting these 3 at the bottom, just the colorful ones. And this is what the tallies look like. I'm still really far on this, and honestly, I don't foresee myself rolling this out at all this year. But that being said, I would like to hit, you know, at least like 3 goals in this palette this year. That would be nice because there's so many shades and it can be a little overwhelming. I know last year my goal was to get close to like 10 uses in each of the shades so that it would be like less overwhelming. And I did get really close on a lot of them, but I didn't on others. Oh, and if you see the blue tallies, like here, 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 that's because I used it in today's look. And then this little blue. So. Alright, and next up is my Tati Beauty palette. This is a super pretty palette. I've only hit goal in 3 shades. It was new to the project last year. Because in 2021 I did not. I got it like mid-2021. It was actually decluttered to me from a friend. And I really like this palette. I'm excited to get more use out of it for sure. I think I'll go through phases of like focusing on my Pan That palette, and then I'll get tired of it and like start focusing on one of these. But anyway, here's what the tallies are looking like as of today. In Ritual Matte, I'm only like 3 uses away. So same for Aura Sequin, so not too shabby. A couple of them are kind of close. Okay, just a couple more of the old ones and then we'll get into the new. So next up is Morphe Sour Patch. I have 2 goals already hit from last year. the Unwrapped and White Pineapple, which are obviously the easiest shades to use. And then the rest I have not at goal on. I'm pretty far on most of them because last year was the first year for this palette being in. Here's where I stand on these. I am only 4 uses away on Sugar Crush, so that's not that far. But the rest of them, I still have some work to do for sure. I'm going through the older palettes kind of fast. Okay, next up is my Franken-Singles. I don't really get that excited to use this palette, honestly, just because it's like the eyeshadows are older. But I do think it's a really pretty thing, and I'd love to like get more use out of it. I just don't foresee myself like rolling this out this year just because there's so many and I don't have a ton of progress on it so far, but I would like to like hit goal in a few of the shades at least. So that's where that one stands. So see, not a ton of progress. I didn't really use it that much last year, but it was new to the project last year, I'm pretty sure. So like all of these uses are from last year. Okay, now we're into the new palettes for this year. So the new palette is gonna be, or one of them, is my Huda Mercury Retrograde. It's a really beautiful palette. I actually did get a lot of use out of this last year because I used it as like my primary travel palette. So like when I went on trips and stuff, I would bring this because I feel like the packaging's pretty sturdy and I can create a lot of different looks with this. That being said, it's not super versatile. Like I feel like you kind of come out with the same like type of like few looks, but I don't know. I really like it. I think it's super beautiful, and I actually have a lot of progress on it. So I'm excited to show you my progress because I used it a lot during traveling, but I have not hit any goals. All these were uses from last year, but technically this wasn't in the project last year, so I haven't really been updating you on this. So that's an exciting one. Okay, next up is a new palette. I haven't made tallies on it at all. I think I've used it a couple times. It's my Urban Decay Wild Greens palette. I got it on sale on Amazon like Prime Day. It was only $17, and ever since it came out, I thought it was super pretty. And I wanted more like greens in my collection. So I got it because, I mean, $17, and I knew I would use every shade. And I'm really happy because a lot of these shades are very unique to my collection, like the tones, and I just am really happy with it, and I'm excited to play with this a lot. I can see myself, like, once I get tired of working on my palette, focusing on this because, as you're about to see, I have not made any tallies for it because I was, you know, it wasn't in the project last year. So I'm super excited to start seeing progress on it, and I think that it's a really good work palette because it's not super pigmented, so it doesn't look like very bright, I guess, which a lot of people don't like, but I think it's like nice for work. Okay, and then next up it's gonna be a lot of like random little tiny stuff because I wanted to include every single eyeshadow that I have aside from like glitters. Yeah, sorry. Into this project, and that being said, like, by no means do I think that I'm gonna be able to roll any of these out necessarily, but I just knew that that was my goal for this project in general. Like, no matter how many years it takes, I want to eventually like have cycled through all of my palettes in the project. So first up is gonna be, oh, actually I didn't even get the other quad out. It's in my like everyday drawer, but it's the same thing as this. So you can see from here, I'll start with the Maybelline quads. It's just the upper right pink, and the other one's a lot more used than this one, but it's actually the other one I keep my eyebrow powders in, but the pink is the same shade of pink, it's the same quad, but the other one has more uses, so I'll probably like work on hitting goal on that one first, but it's literally the exact same shade. So yeah, This one is probably like, might not even get touched this year, to be honest. Because like this brown shade, I'm not including in the project actually, because I can use this as an eyebrow powder for like the outer half of my eyebrow. And so I would prefer to use that as that rather than an eyeshadow, because it just saves me money on buying like brow powders. Okay, next up is this little Too Faced duo. My friend like decluttered this to me back in like high school, and it's a really pretty, it actually like you can swirl them together and make a really pretty highlight, but I'm gonna try to use these more as eyeshadow than highlight. It's just like a shimmery satin, very bright. It would be really good for the inner corner. I don't really have anything on my inner corner today, so I can show you. It's kind of pinky. See, it's just like pretty. Let's see. Okay. Got that one. And by the way, none of these have tallies, so I'm not gonna really show this that much. But next up is my Almay little thing. The only shade left in it is this brown. I just want to use that 23 times, which I think that one is possibly, I could maybe hit it this year because I can combine this, like, because I mean brown's pretty easy to use. Once I finish the browns in my Pound That palette, I could use this as like a good brown. And then next up is my Lancome Plumage. It's just a tiny little duo. It's really cute. I just need to use both of those 23 times. It's pretty. I feel like that really brightened up my inner corner. It's pretty. That little, oh, actually I should put a usage for that because I used the white shade. I'm gonna make a tally. Okay. And then next up is my Estee Lauder little duo. I've already hit pan in this previously, obviously, so that's not included in the project because it already has pan, so the goal's already met. And then this one I have to use 23 times. Which this is one that I do want to focus on over the Almay one because this one is lighter and just like easier to use. It's like a really good transition shade. I could use this in combination with my Franken Single palette because there's not really many mattes in that palette. Okay, that's all for that page. And then last page is going to be my singles. So that will be included with like my Pan That palette shades. So these ones are in my Baby Pan That palette, so that's not in the project. But all of them had pan anyway. But anyway, this is JD Glow Unexpected Secrets and Good God. I need 23 uses on those. And then these are Jeffree Star Cute Sweetener and Glucose. 23 uses on those. I don't have any tallies on those so far. But look how pretty. These are so beautiful. And the reason I have these came in like a mystery box, so I didn't pick these shades. But I did pick this shade because I really wanted like a matte white. Because Jaclyn Hill always uses a matte white. And I just didn't have one in my collection, and I just wanted a single. Okay, and then next up are my Urban Decay Moon Dust. I have Space Cowboy. Should I open them up? Space Cowboy. No uses. I mean, I've used it before, but I haven't tallied any uses because it's new to the project. And then also, this is called Solstice. It's really pretty. So I consider these more like going out type shades because they're special. So I'm not in a huge hurry to use them. That being said, so I don't think they're going to roll out this year. Like, I won't wear these to work or anything like that. But I did want to keep track of the usage just because, like, I want to know, like, if something were to happen to them, I'm like, oh, well, I use them at least 23 times, you know? Okay, and then the last two shades in the whole project are Revolution Rebound, which is this orange cream shade. This is my only shade that I have that's anything like this. And it's still really malleable and pretty. So I do need to use it before it goes bad. So yeah, I do need to focus on this one for this year because it's cream, so it could go bad. And then the very last shade is this J-Cat Chameleon Effect. It's a loose shade. This is my only loose shade besides glitters. And I haven't used it once. Like, I've never used it. I don't know how it works or anything. But that being said, I did want to, I bought it. So like, the reason I bought this actually is because I was making an Ulta order and I only needed to spend like $2 more to get free shipping. So I added this because it was like $2. And I thought it was pretty because it's like a shifty shade. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out. And by no means do I think I'll roll it out because like, basically like it takes a lot of effort to use this shade because I have to use like a glitter glue and all that good stuff. But I do want to at least use it like 5 times this year, you know, because I've had it in my Let's Get Loose project before and I still haven't used it. Like, I just need to use it. Okay, that was all of the shades that are in my 2023 years of usage, and the only palettes that or shades that aren't in it are the ones that have already been rolled out of the project. So that way I'm like kind of getting a good start on doing all the shades in my collection. But anyway, and by the way, like if you're doing the project, don't feel the need to do that. That's just kind of my personal goal. Yeah. So as a reminder, I'm focusing on my Pan That palette over this project this year, unlike last year, because I was just a little disappointed in my like Pan That palette from last year because I felt like it was like an easy win and I still didn't finish it. But anyway, I do like today, like I mean like on the weekends I use these ones, and then during the week I'll use my Pan That palette. But eventually I'm gonna run out of like some of the like staple shades in my Pan That palette and I'll start using these. So, or I'll get bored of it and start using these and like switch off or whatever. But anyway, please leave me a comment if you made it this far or even if you didn't. And God bless you, God bless your family. Have a wonderful day or night. Goodbye.